Hello, everybody. My name is Marjorie Schultz, and I am a life coach. And I am here to talk about kids and Ascension symptoms. So many of you might have heard the term indigo child, starseed child. There are so many different names for them. We love them, but one of the things I wanted to talk about are the Ascension symptoms that kids are experiencing. I have two little boys. They are 8 and 10 years old, and one seems to be a very old soul. The other one maybe not so much. My older son, Mason, is highly intuitive. He says things that are constantly blowing my mind. And my little one, Logan, is definitely catching on as well, but he's kind of purging some stuff. So some of the Ascension symptoms that kids are going through. My little one, Logan, he mentioned to me a while ago, "Mommy, I feel like ants are biting my back. Ants are biting my backbone. What could that be?" And knowing a lot about energy myself, one of the things that I've been learning about is Kundalini energy. They say the Kundalini almost feels like fire or electricity moving up your spine. So when he told me that, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't, upset. I just knew that it was energy moving. And I explained it to him in that way. And I said, "Honey, it's energy just moving up and down your backbone." I said, "It's good. It's life force energy. It's meant to be there. It just might be uncomfortable because it's clearing away any energetic blockages, any trauma that maybe he's experienced, any difficulties that he's been through. Whenever your chakras, which are your energy centers, whenever they're blocked and energy's trying to move through them, it can be very uncomfortable." Another thing that actually my little one said to me, "Mom, I feel like I have vacuums or I have strings on the end of my fingertips." That was very interesting for me, and I know I was guided to a YouTube video because when I was watching it, the lady is a very powerful healer, and she said that it felt like she actually had vacuums on the ends of her fingers. I just believe that it's energy. It's energy coming out of the hands. It's a contrast of the energy flowing out of them and then the energy outside of them. So we all know that energy is intertwined. We are all one with everything, but it was him just feeling like he had strings or he had vacuums on the ends of his fingertips. Another thing that the kids have experienced, a lot of this is much more recent. This has been lately. Today's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's. And my little one, Logan, has been getting very dizzy at school, kind of blacking out. When you stand up and your equilibrium is a little bit off balance. He has been blacking out and getting extremely dizzy. A lot of the viewers, you guys might know about DNA upgrades, energetic codes, light codes coming in, and their bodies integrating them. If there's a huge contrast with the energy coming in, if you want to look up the Schumann resonance, you can see the energy that's coming into the planet. It's energy. It's not evil. It's nothing bad, nothing to be afraid of. It's just the energy coming into the planet. And he had been falling down a lot. I actually had to write him a note for PE for the week because he was not able to participate. He was feeling such instability, just really going through some things. We took him to the doctor, and I knew he would be fine, and he was. The doctor said, "I don't know what's going on." I knew it was all energetic, so I wasn't too concerned about it. So I wrote him a note, and he was able to get out of PE for the week, and he's doing a lot better. Another thing, it's pretty interesting. When the kids are at school, you'll notice that sometimes there's a stomach bug going around, but nobody's throwing up. Nobody's getting sick. Maybe they have a fever, but they're not throwing up. They all have uncomfortable feelings in their belly. Again, it's just energy coming in. A lot of times people freak out and they think, "Oh my gosh, it's contagious. Are they going to share it with one another?" It's just energy. It's just energy coming in. It's things that they're going through. So really try to pay attention. Of course, kids are getting sick, especially when it's flu season. There are things going around, but a lot of times you can see, especially if there's a lot of emotions coming up with it, whether it's anxiety, whether it's, you know, a lot of just frustration, a lot of anger. Usually when my kids are getting rid of some old, you know, old trauma, you know, I've been through a divorce, so I'm sure there are things there that they needed to heal from. So there are periods where, you know, they'll actually vocalize to me, Mom, I feel some emotions coming up and I just have to let it out. And I'll tell them, it's okay to cry. It's okay to get frustrated. Just make sure that you keep yourself, other people safe, and just communicate with me. If you're going through something, just tell me. And as a parent, it's so important to let your kids feel comfortable. They get angry just like us. If anything, maybe more so, because they don't know how to communicate things as well as we can. But, and actually in contrast to that, whenever your kids are in a comfortable place, you might find that they are advanced when they are calm and they are able to explain things. A few examples, my older son, I picked him up from school and he said, Mom, do you know Gandhi? I said, I don't know too much about him. I've heard his name. And I know there's some beliefs about how Gandhi was. I don't want to get into some of the negative things that might have been there. He was just talking to me on a positive note. And he said, do you know what Gandhi talked about? And I said, no, honey, what? He said, he talked about nothing. And then, do you know what he believed in? I said, no. He said, he believed in nothing. And I replied by saying, that sounds like a pretty peaceful existence. He didn't believe in anything. He didn't talk about anything. He didn't feel the need to prove himself. But he said, yes, he was just source. He really didn't identify himself with his body. He understood that he was just here temporarily visiting. And because of that, he could astrally travel. He wasn't connected to his physical body. He was able to do things that a lot of people couldn't do because they were so connected to the 3D experience and their 3D bodies and their linear thinking patterns. And then me being linear and asking a linear question, I said, oh, is that good or bad, you know, that he did that? And he goes, well, it really isn't good or bad. It just is. And there are just so many other circumstances where he's said so many things that really have blown my mind. And you probably have so many different situations where your kids have done that as well. And I believe it's because they're not as programmed as us. They still believe in magical things. They believe in fairies and those things that really aren't magical. They're there. There's energy all around us. There's good energy, bad energy. But again, as Mason would say, it's not good or bad. It just is. There's just different energies all around us. And it was interesting because Mason then later said, you know, I asked him, hey, when you get older, do you want to go to Costa Rica or maybe, you know, go live someplace just calm, relaxing, be in good energy? And he's like, Mom, you know what? I feel like my gifts open up when I'm in contrast, you know, when I'm around darkness. And I said, why is that? And he said, I think of myself like an ice cube in a glass. When the glass is empty, the cube just sits at the bottom. When there's water around it, it can rise to the top.